One of New Zealand's fastest growing sports has arrived in West Auckland as the newly finished McLeod Park Baseball Diamond in Te Atatu South plays host to the 18 and under Oceania baseball qualifiers between New Zealand, Australia and Guam, with the winner heading to the World Cup in Japan come August. Good morning and welcome to McLeod Baseball Diamond. I'm Dennis Katsanis and I'm joined by Baseball New Zealand CEO Ryan Flynn. Ryan, I know you're a busy man, so thank you so much for giving up your time.
Thank you.
And look, congratulations, a fantastic job on the Oceania qualifiers. Do you mind me asking, how significant is this for Baseball New Zealand to be hosting this qualifying series?
It's an important event because we don't do a lot of things in front of the country. You know, we're a fast-growing sport. Our kids are very talented. We can't keep doing this in secret. The country's got to realize this is one of the best-kept sporting secrets in New Zealand, and here we are in a beautiful ballpark.
Well, no secret is the exponential growth that Baseball New Zealand has been growing at. It's absolutely huge. The numbers are huge.
Yeah, I mean, look, this country's had a bat and ball tradition, right? You know, there's been a lot of athletes. We've had Travis Wilson, Scott Campbell signed. We have kids in colleges. You know, it's about time that people see that there's an opportunity here. We can be as good as anybody in the world, and we're starting to prove that now.
Well, the qualifying series started yesterday, and some results from Friday was New Zealand 1-0 over Guam, so a hard-fought victory, but New Zealand got there in the end.
Yep.
Then went down to Australia at 12-2. And Australia too strong for Guam at 10-5. And a couple of matches today, starting in a few minutes' time. New Zealand going up against Guam, and then we have the big one, the Trans-Tasman Clash, New Zealand against Australia. And Ryan, Australia very much the favourites, 14th in the world.
Yep.
New Zealand sit at 26 in the rankings, with Guam at 44. So what makes Australia so strong?
Well, I think, you know, our athletes are as good as anyone right now, and we know that. You know, the problem is, for us, is they've got a big head start. They've been playing baseball for 50 years. We focused on cricket and softball. We're rising fast, but they've got a 50-year head start. They've had Major League Baseball money. They've had government money. We haven't had that yet. That's the only difference I see. Our athletes are just as good, if not better, and we're showing that now.
And right, it's not just the qualifiers here. I've read we've got some samurai captains coming down. We've got all sorts of notable baseball players visiting New Zealand to put on clinics to hopefully grow the sport even more.
Yeah, we've got Milwaukee Brewers manager Ron Renicky, one of the great guys in sports, one of the great baseball men. We've got Miyamoto. We've got a lot of great people right now, and we're just starting to bring these guys in to teach our guys the right way to play the game.
Does that transfer into, you know, clubs and people joining baseball?
It absolutely does. I mean, everything is part of a bigger picture right now, trying to get people to the game, better coaching, better competition, better facilities like this one. You've got to do it all. Any sport, rugby, cricket, basketball, you've got to have good facilities, good coaching, good competition, and then you have a program, a real program.
Now, I've heard Canterbury's grown from just an inter-club to, you know, like proper round-robin tournaments. There's about 4 or 5 teams down there?
4 clubs now, another one coming on board. Wellington's moving, Hawke's Bay's moving, Northland's doing good things. Of course, Auckland is our hub, and this is where we're strongest, but we're branching out according to the money that we have right now. That's what we can do.
Now, Ryan, and speaking of money, is it self-funded? Do you get any help, or how does it all work for baseball, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, to be incredibly frank, our general fund money is from TAB on baseball. Like other sports, get a certain amount of money from the betting on Major League Baseball. And other than that, it's a couple grants here and there, and that's about it, really. We don't have a lot of money right now, but we think things are about to turn financially, and we're very close, we think, on some bigger sums of money coming. And you need money to run a real program in any country, in any sport in the world. You just can't go to the next level without a little bit of funding. That's a fact.
Now, Ryan, we've got the 18 and under New Zealand team. A lot of people will be tuning in going, okay, I'm new to baseball. Yep. Who should I be looking out for? Any key young players that you know, that are cutting it in the world of baseball, or, you know, huge prospects for us?
Yeah, one of the biggest prospects is Jimmy Boyce, who's moved to Seattle. He's a Sacred Heart kid from Auckland. He just shut down Korea in the 21 and under World Championships in Taichung. He throws 89 to 90 miles per hour. He's got 3 pitches. 3 other players here, Cooper Hutchinson, Ben Thompson, Sam Harvey, have played in MLB academies over in Australia and Europe, and they've played in Taiwan as well. So they've got a lot of world travel under their belts, a lot of great coaching. Look for those 4 to really take the lead right now for us.
You must be very proud. You look really proud.
I'm excited. I'm excited. This is a great legacy, and baseball is the most beautiful game in the world, and New Zealand could be top 10 in the world in the next 5 to 10 years, if we just do the right things, and we're doing the right things. That's all we can do.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Yes, in commentary for this one, it's New Zealand up against Guam. It's a warm welcome to Lieutenant Dan Hennessy.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Here we are in McLeod Park, Te Atatu, New Zealand, for the 2015 International Baseball Under-18 Oceania Championships, the World Qualifying Tournament. We got Guam, we have Australia, and the host nation here, New Zealand. New Zealand ranked 26th on the planet. Australia is 14th, and Guam is 44th. Here is the Guam squad here. They're going to be playing New Zealand first up in this beautiful day in Auckland, New Zealand. Keep an eye on Kyle Martinez, Nolan Chamberlain, and also Julian Flores. We're going to throw down to Dennis here. He has Sean Mounier, the Guam head coach.
Sean, tough day at the office yesterday. What adjustments have you made to try and pick up a win against New Zealand or Australia this afternoon?
Well, minimizing mental mistakes is basically the aspect of what had happened in yesterday's game. So I sharpened them up pretty much last night when we got home, and I feel that they're properly prepared today at that aspect of the game. We should have gotten better.
You came out with 13 players. I noticed both Australia and New Zealand have got 20. Is it hard to, when you've got such a short roster to play 6 games?
Well, the economy back home is really down right now, and coming off of our holidays expenditures and, the availability of players and in the middle of the school is a big shortfall that we have. A lot of the players right now are going to be graduating and they can't miss any school. So we bear down with what we could bring out, and 13 was the number that could actually produce the funds to come out here to this tournament.
What do you need to do to beat New Zealand today?
Play some smart baseball, fundamental baseball, and execute properly would be the key to win today's game.
Thank you very much, Sean.
You're welcome.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The New Zealand haka, doesn't matter what sport it's in, the hair on the back of your neck just stands up pretty straight. Joining me in commentary here today, Orioles scout, that is the Baltimore Orioles scout for the Oceania region, Brett Ward. Brett, glad to have you on board here today.
Thanks, Dan. Great to be here on a fantastic day for baseball.
It is a beautiful day, and Guam is going to take the field first. This is going to be a 9-inning game now, as opposed to the 7-inning games they had yesterday. And we've got Connor Gleason on the mound here, a Glendowie college student is going to be on the mound. Now, Australia, I've been hearing about, now you're from Australia, yeah?
Correct.
Okay, now I've been hearing that Australia has a 50-year head start on the Kiwis in baseball. Could you explain that a bit more, maybe?
Yeah, look, it's been in our country for quite a long time, and it's just starting to develop here in New Zealand. But they've got some very good athletes, as you well know, and I think they'll do well in the next 10 or 15 years.
Okay, we got David Nika here on the mound to throw out the first pitch. If you don't know who he is, you must have been living under a rock. He is the gold medalist in the Commonwealth Games light heavyweight division.
Sorry, Danny.
And I'll tell you what, for light heavyweight, he is a tall drink of water, about 1.93 meters tall. Well, it wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad as 50 Cent, right?
And boxing gold medalist David Nika. We'll be getting things underway very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the show.
Beautiful day here, about 25 degrees Celsius, about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The sun is out, the clouds are around a little bit here today, but a great day for baseball nonetheless. Once again, this is the Oceania World Qualifier. And, well, Brett, you know, it was said off the beginning of the broadcast that Australia has 33 professional baseball players, whether they're in the major leagues in the United States or in Japan. That is a big number of people.
Yeah, we've had 33 go to the major leagues. There's probably one left there at the moment, which is Grant Balfour, who's probably making around $9 million a year, which is pretty good. And fortunate for us, a lot of our guys come back from playing in the major leagues and put back into our program.
And, well, yeah, you know, New Zealand, this is, I talked to some of the coaches before the game, this is truly the first generation of baseball players. These kids grew up playing baseball. Maybe in generations past they would play softball. Let's not forget about the Black Sticks' dominance worldwide in softball. But here we are, the first generation of Kiwis playing baseball. And you know, Brett, they do punch above their weight. It's just amazing. You know, whether it's Mark Hunt in the UFC, whether it's David Tour and Joseph Parker boxing, whether it's Valerie Adams, Stephen Adams, the list goes on. And for a country that's 2/3 the size of California, it just amazes me the amount of talent and athleticism that can get poured out of this small country.
Exactly, and you've got your best rugby team in the world and probably the best bunch of netballers. And if some of those come across to baseball, I'm sure the baseball team will take the world by storm too.
All right, Jason Matthews coming up to the plate here. First batter for the Kiwis. Let's keep in mind the first 4 batters are the real hitters in the lineup. And here's the first pitch. And he'll take that for a strike. Beautiful field here, plus $1 million facility here. And that is a shot out to right center field. That's going to drop. He could get extra bases here. Matthews going to go for a double, and he will have a standing double. What a way to start the game, Brett.
Fantastic bit of hitting. He waited a little bit and drove the ball to right centre field. Sets up New Zealand for a good start.
Well, here it is again, making perfect contact with it. Right center field, just had balls, had eyes of its own, dropping in there. And a little, should have cut off that ball a little bit better, that center fielder. In any event, a hit, a double. And that's a good cut.
Lincoln Crooks now, he'll be looking to hit the right ball to the right side of the field to move Matthews over to third base and set New Zealand up for a run.
Now pitching from the stretch. And that's going to be in the dirt. He's going to hit third base, and he will hit that standing. As a pass ball now will inflict more damage here on Guam. No outs, second batter of the ball game up to bat, and we got a gentleman 90 feet away from scoring.
1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike. And that's way outside, and that's going to come all the way back here to the backstop. A pass ball, 2 in a row, and it's 1-0 New Zealand over Guam. Do you think the pressure might be getting to the pitchers out there? I mean, this is a big deal for these kids. There's cameras all around here and a big crowd, and maybe the pressure might be getting to them a bit.
I think you're right there. I mean, I would doubt they've played in front of a crowd this size, and as you said, all the TV cameras. He looks a little nervous, but hopefully he settles down for Guam's sake.
And that is going to be a foul ball down the right-hand side, which usually indicates he's swinging late a little bit on the pitch. In any event, stays alive here.
Let's go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Play.
And that's a curveball that will miss on the outside. We've got a full count here.
3-2. 3-2.
Here's the pass ball well outside. Nobody could have gotten that one. And that is going to be lifted to right field, and that is going to be a Texas leaguer going to drop in there. And 2 people up to bat here for New Zealand and 2 hits.
Number 7, Cooper Hutchinson.
Now, it doesn't have to be a shot off the fence. As long as it drops in the field of play, we're golden, right?
Exactly, as long as they don't get to hit it. And he got jammed a little bit on that pitch, as you said. He was a little bit late, and but it drops in, so now you've got Hutchinson up at the plate, who's could be a chance to go and play college baseball in America in the next couple of years.
That ball's inside, a big lead off of first base. Hutchinson, born in Western Samoa, moved here when he was about 2 years old. Grew up and raised in central Auckland. And he's going for the steal down at second, and he will be safe at second. It looks like the ball was there in plenty of time. Maybe he might have missed the tag, but you want to be aggressive on the base paths with a tournament like this to see how the catcher's arm is.
Exactly, and a good move by Dan Tan to set him in motion. And as you said, the ball was there in plenty of time, but I think the second baseman might have taken the ball in front of the base rather than being on top of the base, and it was pretty close by the looks of that.
Great slide, head first. And that's a strike. Man on second, no outs here. Top of the first inning. Once again, we're coming to you live from McLeod Park, Te Atatu South, Auckland, New Zealand. Fantastic day out here today. Great day for baseball. Trying with that curveball again, just can't seem to find the zone with that curveball. Now is the strike zone a little bit bigger with these age bracket as opposed to the major leagues?
No, it should be the same, but they're probably being very careful here because Cooper can hit the ball a long way. Big, strong young man.
And a nice stop there, and that will be ball 4. Now runners on first and second for New Zealand. As Thompson now comes to the plate.
Ben will actually be going to high school in Canada after this tournament for the next 18 months.
Really?
I think he's got a scholarship to pitch over there.
And that is going to be fouled out of play.
Strike one.
Benjamin Thompson, born 21st of December, 1997. Once again, this is 18 and under tournament. And that's going to miss on the outside.
Really good athlete, Ben. He pitched yesterday. We looked a little sore. He had a sore back, he said. But just a great build and a very good athlete.
Looks like a lock. I'm surprised the rugby guys aren't mad that baseball ended up with him. And that is going to look like it might stay fair. Yes, it will. And around go the base runners. A bit of a jam here between the two first base runners. One's right behind the other one. But they will score 2 runs on a stand-up triple. Wow.
Another great piece of hitting there. Just hitting behind the runners to make sure you can advance them and hit the ball into that corner and ran it very well. Good lead.
And it's odd that all these right-handed batters have got all 3 hits over in right field. Normally pull hitters hit it over to left field, but fantastic finding space out there in the outfield. And again, it looks like the outfield from Guam should have cut the ball off a lot better than they did. They're going to appeal here on third base. Yeah, they're getting an appeal on third base. It looks like the Guam thinks that somebody missed third base on the way home. So I do believe they are appealing, and he is called safe. So it will be 3-0 New Zealand here, still on the top of the first, and they are inflicting some damage here on Guam.
It's fairly tough for Guam, only bringing 13 players over. They're going to run out of pitching soon, and maybe happening early today.
And there's a strike, finding the strike zone that time around.
One on one.
6'5", this gentleman, Benjamin. Takes a big cut on that one. A little bit ahead of the game there. Pitcher now pitching from the windup. No base runners out there. No need for the stretch.
Sam, the hitter, he's been around the world with a bit of baseball a couple of times. Been to a couple of academies.
And that looks like that's going to drop in there for center field. No, it won't. That'll be caught. And the runner from third will tag home. RBI, run batted in. And it's now 4-0.
Another good piece of hitting. Hit the ball deep to the outfield. The runner on third base. No chance of throwing him out. And New Zealand moving ahead quickly.
And that's really all you got to do is put the ball in the field of play and let the defense make the play. And strike one will be called here for our first lefty of the afternoon.
Ryan McLennan, another good lumper, good size athlete as well.
Started playing baseball when he was 9 years old. And that will be a little chipper down to second base. Routine play, and that'll be the first out for Guam. But it looks like 2 outs. It'll look like basically the New Zealanders already have the number of the Guam pitching. They're making contact.
Yeah, they are, and he's struggling a little bit with his command, leaving a lot of balls in the middle of the plate, and New Zealand's certainly taking advantage of it.
And it seems to be the Guam pitchers settling down a little bit here, now hitting the strike zone more times than not. 2 outs here, top of the first. 4-0 New Zealand. And that'll be a little chopper down to the shortstop. Shortstop will throw it over to first. And that'll be the end of the top of the first inning, keeping in mind New Zealand inflicting 4 runs on the team from Guam. Now, question for you, Brett. We do know that Major League Baseball players, the fastballers, can pitch from 93 to 100 miles an hour. What's the speed we're looking at with these kids here?
These ones are probably around 80 mile per hour. This afternoon's game, when you have Jimmy Boyce and I think Alex Wells from Australia, they'll both be around 90 mile per hour. It's not bad for 17-year-olds.
Not at all. Connor Gleason on the mound here for the Diamondbacks of New Zealand. All right, here is the team in its entirety. Matthews, Crooks, Hutchins, Thompson, Harvey, McLean, Colasi. That might be a very, number 11, a very popular name here. His dad is the coach for the Black Sox and a multiple world champion. Fantastic squad. They got 4 runs in the top of the first here. And it looks like this pitcher here has got the business here, Connor Gleason.
He is. He's a good little prospect. Connor, another good-sized boy, not too old. Really nice action, and he's getting better all the time.
See, now what I really want to hammer home here today is you don't have to be a big league player to go overseas and get your education and your OE taken care of in one felt swoop. I mean, in the States, there's Division I, Pepperdine, UCLA, there's Division II, there's Division III. So, you know, you can go to Division III, Division II school, play baseball, still get a scholarship, and get a free education.
Exactly. There's probably a college for every player, depending on their level and ability. And as I said, Cooper Hutchinson may be looking at a college scholarship, and Ben Thompson's definitely going to Canada in the next few weeks to finish high school.
Just like mine.
All right, McCarty coming up here now for Guam. They're down by 4 runs. Bottom of the first. Here's the first pitch from Gleason. And that'll land in there for a strike.
And that's exactly what you want to see after scoring 4 in the first innings. You want your pitcher coming out, throwing strikes and attacking the hitters.
With good velocity as well. Wow, he's just blowing it by the hitter here. This kid's got some heat.
He looks really good and looks on, and as I said, the coaching staff be very happy he's come out throwing 2 straight strikes.
And that'll be chopped down the third base line, foul. Keeping himself alive, however, with 2 strikes.
2 strikes. Play.
Who would you look for here? Curveball in the outside corner, maybe?
Yeah, he set him up pretty well then. He two fastballs, and he could go high with the fastball on this one.
And he does, and this will be a little pop-up to first base, and that'll be the first out. Once again, veering off toward right field, not really getting around on the pitch, but making contact nonetheless.
Really good pitching sequence there from Connor. 2 good fastballs, then went low and in, and then up and away.
You were spot on, mate. First lefty batting here for Guam. And that'll be blown right by him, Jacob Concepcion. At the knees now. The strike zone's normally from the knees to about the lettering on the shirt, to the outside of the plate and inside of the plate, kind of a box, if you will. And that'll be fouled out of play from Concepcion.
That was his first curveball there. He probably left a little bit too much to the plate, being 0-2. But the first one for the day, at least it was in a good spot.
And he took a lot off it. You can definitely tell the velocity difference between his fastball and his curveball. And that'll be a little grounder to shortstop, routine play. Nice gun to first, and you'll get him. Great play.
Really, really nice play there. Great footwork by the shortstop, and Connor is doing very, very well. A great start to the game for him.
Now batting number 15, Flores.
Just a beautiful infield here. Once again, brand new facility here, $1 million plus. And it definitely looks the part. Julian Flores now comes to the plate here for Guam. Curveball on the outside. Just missed. Close.
That was a great pitch, and probably just a little low, but Connor's got some good velocity and very good rhythm, as we talk.
That one's a little bit low on the outside.
3 balls.
Not missing by much here, but looking for a walk here to get their first base runner of the day on the paths. Comes right back through with a strike.
3-1. Let's go. Let's get another. Come on. Let's go right now.
Just missed on the outside. And there goes Flores to first base with the first walk of the day. Now pitching from the stretch, it's Gleason. Runner stays, pass ball. Catcher can't find it. And, well, that'll be a stolen base or a pass ball. Either way, they got a runner on second base now.
He just seems to be overthrowing a little bit after the first two hitters. He had great rhythm, but it looks like he's trying to throw a little too hard now.
Keeping the runner back there on second. Nobody keeping him close, so the pitcher must do so. That's high.
in this situation, you shouldn't worry too much about the runner. They've got a 4-run lead, so 1 run's not going to hurt them. You just should concentrate on getting this hitter out.
Yeah, you sit with 2 outs as well. Exactly. You want to get the out that you're staring at. Big cut.
Two and 1.
2 balls, 1 strike here, bottom of the first. And here's the pitch from Gleason. Oh man, that thing dropped off the table. Fantastic curveball.
That's probably been his best pitch so far. Took a little bit off it and had good balance. And as you said, the ball just disappeared.
2-2 here, 1 pitch could end it. And that'll be fouled off to the backstop. It will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Two and 2. Play.
Cody Talargi here batting for Guam. The outfield in a little bit, playing shallow. Runner goes, and it's strike 3, doesn't matter. As we have our first K for the New Zealanders. Bottom of the first inning is over. It's 4-0 New Zealand over Guam.
Just hold it.
We will be back very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Stick and stay, don't go away. Catch us after the break as New Zealand here, batting once again, facing Guam. Yes. Okay, not a problem.
Leading off the second inning for New Zealand, number 16, Zach Goldsmith.
All right, New Zealand up to bat now. 1 ball is the count. Zach Johnson is the batter. And there's a strike for Kyle Martinez, the pitcher for Guam. Had a bit of a rough go of it in the first inning. Hopefully he can settle down here in the second. That one could have been a little bit outside. In any event, if it's that close, you can't let it go by. Got to take a hack at it. Zachary Goldschmidt, center fielder. And he will nail it to shortstop. Shortstop will pop it over to first base, and that will be an out. But again, the Kiwis keep making contact.
Yeah, they're swinging the bats very, very well today. Not intimidated at all. But it was a good play by the Guam team.
Siona Gray now up for the Diamondbacks of New Zealand. Ball 1, that one's going to be a little high. And you're right, with just 13 players, Brett, they could be in a lot of trouble if the pitcher here kind of loses his control.
Ball 2.
it's going to be very tough. They've got 6 games to play in 4 days, 50 innings of baseball, so a lot of these boys will have sore arms by the end of it.
Ball 3.
Kyle Martinez
3 balls.
misses the strike zone once again. 3 balls. Would you tell your batter to take on this occasion?
Yeah, I would in this situation early in the game.
Take the pitch, see if you get ball 4. And he does, and it does. Works out for him. And another base runner on the base paths here for the Diamondbacks of New Zealand.
He has good speed too, so I would expect him to probably look to move to second base on a steal.
Yep, to avoid the double play, but keeping in mind the first steal they had in the first inning, that pitcher had a gun. It was just a misplaced tag, I do believe, from the second baseman, so we'll keep an eye on him at first base, see if he goes. Runner stays. Matthews now at the plate here for the Diamondbacks. And that ball was a little high and inside.
With New Zealand back to the top of the lineup now, Matthews had a hit in his first at-bat, so he'll be looking to drive the ball ahead of the count.
Hitter's pitch, 2-0. Hit and run, steal, it could all be on here. And they'll look him back to first base.
Don't move on the bag. Don't move. Hold time if you like. Bye.
Time. Go. Play.
2 balls here. Thrown down to first base, not in time. 3-0.
It's 7 balls in a row now, so I doubt whether they'll be swinging on this pitch to help them out in any way.
3 balls.
You got to make the pitcher here find the strike zone. Kyle Martinez having some troubles. And that'll be ball 4. Now runners on first and second. And when he does find the strike zone, the New Zealand hitters are making him pay for it.
Exactly, and again, I think with Lincoln Crooks coming to the plate, I don't think he'll be swinging at the first pitch. You've got to make them work. You don't want to give them an easy out here, especially when the pitch is struggling. And as we've spoken about, they're going to be short on pitching.
And, well, we'll have a chat here out in the mound. Sean Mounier, the coach for Guam, now talking to his pitcher.
Thank you.
Once again, Kyle Martinez having a rough time finding the strike zone. And when he does, it's normally over the meat of the plate. And the New Zealand batters have been inflicting some damage when that happens.
Play.
All right, here we go. And again, another ball in the dirt. And just from his body language, I could, I'm not sure if Martinez is all for this one at the moment.
I agree with you. I don't think he really wants to be there any longer.
Shortstop comes back to second base to cover him. Men on first and second here. 4-0 New Zealand over Guam. 1 ball is the count. Wind starting to whip up here a little bit. Atatu. And that'll be fouled down the first base line. Once again, I honestly think if he didn't swing at that ball, it might have been another ball.
I agree, and as we're talking, I was surprised he swung at that. It's just helping the pitcher get out of trouble.
And they'll look him back once again. As there is a commanding lead off second base there.
Let's go.
There is just a ton of real estate right down that left field line as well. If he could pull the ball over the third baseman's head, there'd be 2 more runs coming home here for New Zealand. And that'll be fouled off once again into the stands. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
1 and 2. Play.
All right, Martinez with the delivery. Curveball. It's going to go right in front of the pitcher's mound. He's going to go to first base with it, and he will get the out. However, we have now runners, New Zealand, on third and second base with just 1 out.
Brings up one of their better hitters, Cooper Hutchinson, as well, with a chance for 2 RBIs here. Big, strong, great athletic body.
Yeah, this kid looks the part, doesn't he? Oh, and that'll be another pass ball. No, a fantastic job by the catcher here from Guam. Whoa.
That was an outstanding play by that catcher.
Nolan Chamberlain, wow, nice play.
That didn't just miss, that missed by about 6 feet.
If you look at it here, it almost looks like a ground ball. I mean, that was amazing to get that ball. Great range behind the plate. That was well outside. Martinez at the moment is shaky at best. Can't quite see the Guam bullpen, but somebody should be working in there at the moment, getting warmed up. And he'll miss once again inside. 3 balls, no strikes.
3 balls.
And that will be lifted up into short center field. It will drop, and 2 more runs will come home for New Zealand. And now, it is 6-0 New Zealand here in the second.
Good piece of hitting by Cooper there. It was 3-0 ahead of McLeod. A lot of people may have taken that pitch, but being the good hitter he is, if you get the fastball that you want to drive, then you certainly drive it.
Great extension with the hands. It just seems like all the New Zealand hits, or most of them, just seem to have their own pair of eyeballs out there and just kind of landing wherever the fielders aren't. Throw down to first.
Ben Thompson back to the plate after his triple in the first innings.
Short right field triple, if I remember correctly. That was wasn't a shot, but it got him all the way to third base standing up. Base runner might have a problem there. Might have jammed his hand or his finger on the way back to the base.
One strike.
That is the one downside of about sliding head first. And that will be fouled off the right field way.
Ben's been able to travel the world with baseball. He's been, I think, to the European Academy, maybe in Italy, and was definitely in Australia the last 2 years for their Major League Academy.
Great experience. Martinez looking back the runner on first once again. Gee, Guam seem to be really, really concerned about the base runners here today. They should be more concerned about the guy at the plate.
I agree 100%.
Hit by pitch, and he will be off to first base. And I can see why you're worried about the base runners so much, because every time you come down to the plate, something bad has been happening here for Martinez. I feel horrible for him, but wow, New Zealand is just flexing their muscles here in the second. 6-0 over Guam.
As exactly as you said, you worry too much about the base runners. They're a long way behind. They're not going to be worried about that one extra run, but you need to get that hitter out.
Outside.
Sam Harvey's also been around the world with baseball, been to maybe also to Europe and Australia.
That's a strike, did go around. Break the plane of the plate with the bat. Check swing, sometimes it's a strike, but if you break your wrists, it is a strike. Umpire there thought he went around. 1 ball, 1 strike. Martinez in the stretch. This is outside once again, 2 balls, 1 strike.
2-1.
And that'll miss outside.
Three and 1.
Harvey from Howard, Pakuranga Hawks. And that'll be another walk here, as Martinez is all over the show every time he comes home to the plate.
Ryan McLennan coming to the plate. Was a little anxious his first at-bat, rolled over and one for a soft ground ball to first base, so hopefully he stays back a bit.
Well, the bases are loaded for him here with 2 outs. Guam would do well to get out of this spot. The one thing they surely don't want to do is walk a run home. And that was right down the pipe. Seems to me Dan Tan has got his players saying, look, don't swing at it unless it's right down the pipe, because this guy is losing his control per pitch.
Exactly. When you're hitting, you look for a certain location for a pitch, a type of pitch and location, and when it's there, you can really unload. So maybe he's looking for a different zone.
2 balls, 1 strike. 2 and 2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, this will be a moral victory for Martinez if he gets himself out of this spot here. And that'll be a dribbler down the first base line. It will be foul, however.
You okay for water?
It will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Two and 2. Play.
And that is outside, and here runners will be on the move here as it's 3 and 2.
3 and 2.
And that will be ball 4, and in comes yet another run for New Zealand. Now 7-0 over Guam.
And as you tipped, worrying about all those runners early on, if you had been worrying more about the hitters, we mightn't be in this situation.
Yep. And well, I would just say this. If Martinez doesn't get the strikeout or an out here, I would probably really think seriously about yanking him. And there's a hit, and it will be an out at second base. And it's over for Guam right now. The infliction is done. It is 7-0 New Zealand. Guam coming up to the plate next. Wow, the bats are hot here for New Zealand.
And I think, as you said, with the manager only having the 13 players, he's probably a little going to be short-handed in the bullpen. So we may have to see a little bit more of this pitcher than he probably would like.
On the other side of the coin, Connor Gleason looks pretty unflappable.
Had a great first innings, had really good rhythm, and all he needs to do now is continually throw strikes, let them hit ground balls with a big lead like that. You don't want to be walking players, giving them free passes.
This kid's got some fire as well. Great mechanics, nice high leg kick. Warm-up's just about finished here. Once again, we are coming to you from McLeod Park in Atatu, South Atatu, New Zealand. Beautiful day here, about 26 degrees Celsius, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, light winds. This is the International Baseball Under-18 Oceania World Championship qualifying tournament. Jared Sorosa comes up here for Guam now. Connor Gleason on the mound here for the Diamondbacks of New Zealand. That'll be fouled off by the Guam dugout.
Again, downtown, their manager would be very happy. So would Ricky Paiwai, coming out throwing a strike. First pitch after a big innings.
And at the moment, I mean, granted, it's only the second inning, but Connor's got minimal pitches under his belt at the moment, as opposed to Martinez, who's thrown about 100 balls.
Exactly, and as we said earlier, there's 50 innings in 4 days, so you need to keep pitching back. And if New Zealand keeps scoring runs, this game could finish early with a mercy rule in place.
Is there?
Yes, I think it might be 15 runs ahead after 5, and definitely if they're 10 runs up after 7 innings, then the game will finish early.
Well, it is a scheduled 9-inning game, and if we go at the rate we are now, we'll be here till next Tuesday. Gleason is just firing the ball, strike out for Gleason.
Very good velocity on that last pitch, and he's able to elevate the fastball and has them chasing, being down in the zone early, changes their eye level, and they're definitely not catching up to it.
He's got very good control. Santos will take a strike for the Chimeros. That will be a little low on the outside. Yes, I didn't know that. Chimeros is what you call the people from Guam. You learn something new every day, right?
That's new to me.
Thank you, Dennis. High heat. Man, I wish we had a radar gun here, because this kid's really throwing some heat. Two balls, one strike. Well, that's fantastic. As soon as I said I wish we had a radar gun, 3 seconds later, I've got a radar gun in my hand. I'm going to see what he's pitching here. 78 miles per hour, that pitch.
Again, just losing a little bit of rhythm, probably trying to overthrow a little bit. Just needs to come back throwing strikes. Let them hit the ball and let his field do the work.
Yeah, but they're doing exactly what you told them not to, Brett. You know, walking the first, you know, can't do it. Can't have the guys on the base pass when you're up 7-0. At least put the ball over the plate. Make your defense make the play for you. As that is a shot, which will be fair down the third base line. This will be extra bases. Guam could get their first base runner home here. Left fielder having a bit of trouble with it. And we will have Guam scoring a run here with a stand-up double with a shot down the left field line, right out of the outstretched arms of the third baseman.
Really good swinging at the first pitch, but again, if he hadn't have walked the hitter before, they wouldn't have been able to score that run. Left fielder had a little bit of trouble picking the ball up.
Yep. Well, here we go. This is the best contact we've seen all day. Just rips it down the left field line. And here I am again with the radar gun, my newest favorite toy. once again, he's pretty constant at 78 miles per hour is Gleason.
Much better pitch by Connor there, getting it lower in the zone. You want to be pitching around the knees or the thigh area.
Yep.
The one before was a little bit up around the waist area.
Nobody keeping on the second base runner here at the moment. He's in the dirt here. As it seems here in the second inning now, Gleason's got a little bit of a cross to bear.
Just overthrowing slightly, probably trying to break 80 on the radar gun, but just get back to what he did in the first innings. He had great rhythm.
Right down the middle of the plate, fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
Great experience for a young pitcher, a crowd this size, a TV game. He'd probably be nervous, but he's struck it very, very well.
A little bit of a conversation here at the mound. Nolan Chamberlain up here for Guam.
Quite often with a runner on second base, the catcher normally gives one signal, but with if there's only a runner on second base, he could relay that signal. So they normally give a sequence of 2 or 3. So they're probably just getting their sequence worked out.
Yeah, another strike here on Chamberlain. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Gleason with the delivery here from the stretch. Wow, he's got a great curveball.
That has really late break to it, and it's very tough to pick from the hand, and the late break, downward break, makes it very, very tough to hit.
They call it falling off the table. Look at this thing just drop at the end of the pitch there. Just unbelievable. Had no chance at it. It was actually out of the strike zone, but when it came across this, to the batter, he thought, man, I got to swing at this. It looks like a meaty pitch, and then it just falls away. Daniel Panglutin up here for Guam. And that one was a little bit low to the outside.
Again, with the big lead here, Connor should just be really concentrating on getting this hitter out.
Yeah. Probably one of the smaller baseball players here today, but as we know from Dustin Pedroia and the Red Sox, you don't have to be 8 feet tall to be a fantastic ball player.
That's exactly right. You've got Dustin Pedroia and Jose Altuve from the Astros, only about 5'5", and he hit over 300 this year, had an outstanding season.
And anytime I can throw in a euphemism for my beloved Red Sox, Brent, I'm there. As 2 walks now here, this inning alone for Gleason.
As you said earlier, it's just not what he wants to do, and Ricky Paiwai, the pitching coach, is coming out probably to explain that to him. Just make sure you throw strikes, don't run your pitch count up, and let them hit the ball.
Kenji McCarthy coming up here for Guam.
Pitching coach Ricky Paiwai, a former professional baseballer himself.
Well, they're going to keep him in there. Have a little chat, calm him down a little bit. He's kind of losing his way here in the bottom of the second. 2 walks he's given up here. And a run.
very much. Okay.
Now the Chamaros have runners on first and second.
Right.
Delivery from Gleason. And that is a double play ball, and they will get the out. They don't need the double play. They'll just get the force out at second base, and that'll do it. But Guam will get a run back, however. So it is New Zealand 7 and Guam 1. We'll see you right here after the break.
Got a question.
Of course, they get that one run now, so it's going to be 25 to 1. We'll be here until Tuesday.
Exactly what you said. Just started.
All good.
Zach Goldschmidt, catcher. I think so. I can't say that kid's name. Is it Colossi? Softball ball, is it? I'll let you pronounce his name.
Colossi.
Colossi. This is Goldschmidt hitting now.
Goldschmidt's up now, is he?
Yeah.
And then Colossi?
No, Colossi was the last out.
Oh, okay.
So you've got Goldschmidt.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, once again coming to you live from McLeod Park, Atatu, New Zealand. This is the 2015 International Baseball Under-18 Oceania World Championships. It's the World Qualifying Tournament with New Zealand, Australia, and Guam. This is the first game here of the day. We'll be doing two for you here this afternoon. This is game one between Guam and New Zealand New Zealand are up 7-1 over Guam. And it looks like we might have a new pitcher here. Jacob Concepcion will be pitching for Martinez now for the Chamaros.
And look to have a knuckleball on that one there, so this will be interesting if you can throw that for a strike. The knuckleball will dance
Knuckleballer. Dying art form. Well, here's his, he's warming up here. We're going to have a quick look here at the replay to see if he's actually tossing these knuckleballs.
There it is. You can see the grip there, a ball on the end of his fingers, and it should just float coming down. Very tough to hit if you can throw it for a strike.
Oh, there's guys who have made millions and millions of dollars. Wakefield, who you know, doesn't look like an athlete, but he can throw a knuckleball, and if you can't hit it, he's got himself a job. Not a lot of knuckleballers in the big leagues these days. It seems to be dying out. They're going more with the 100-mile-an-hour fastball pitchers.
Yeah, the only one I can think of is probably R.J. Dickey at the moment.
Yep. All right, we are ready to go. Concepcion now on the mound. Martinez hitting the showers. Zach Goldschmidt now up here for the Diamondbacks of New Zealand. He's the catcher. And he'll have a look at the first one to see the speed and velocity of Concepcion. Takes the strike. We'll take that one inside. And a curveball will be fouled down the third base line. He's got control, but he seems to be lacking a little bit in velocity. But hey, if at least you got the control, you're going to get the ball over the plate. Let your defense make the play for you.
That's exactly right. I mean, they had way too many walks early on. That caused them a lot of issues. So let their defense make some plays.
1 and 2.
1 ball, 2 strikes here on Goldschmidt. And he'll stay alive by falling that one off.
Looked to be an afterthought, that swing. He was very, very late and probably wasn't going to swing right until the last second.
Just looking to make contact in case the umpire here calls it a strike on him. Don't want a backwards K, the first one of the afternoon. And that one will be lifted foul as he's making Concepcion work here. High pitch count here for this at-bat.
1 and 2. Play.
Watch your way, Daniel.
Well out of the strike zone, and he will take a hack at it, and that will be a strikeout for Concepcion. All right, here comes Sione Gray here for the Diamondbacks.
He had a walk in his first at-bat, so he'll be looking to be more aggressive this time.
Well, Concepcion's got himself some good control. He looks relaxed out there. Didn't miss by much on that one.
Changing speeds very well, which is keeping the first 2 hitters he's faced off balance.
And that'll be a ground ball down to the shortstop. Shortstop throws it over to first base, and that is a routine play. And there's another out here. 2 down. Shortstop's had a few balls coming his way this afternoon. He's done a good job on all of them.
In the replay, you see him center well with the ball, gets his feet moving to make the throw, wasn't rushed. Did a very, very good job on that.
And there's a shot to center field. It will drop, and there is a single. They got a base runner here with 2 outs. Top of the 3rd.
Jason Matthews, that's his 2nd hit for the game, and the other time he came to the plate he had a walk. So he's what we're having, what we call a perfect day so far. They haven't been able to get him out. Now Lincoln Crook's coming to the plate.
Nice little curveball there from Concepcion. Will nip the corner for a strike. Crooks will throw in down to third base. It will be mishandled, however. He's going to gun it to first. He will still make the play, however, and that's a gun from the third baseman.
That first baseman has scooped more balls in the last 2 days than guys do working for a living. He's been outstanding up there.
And, well, Guam gets out of that half of inning with minimal damage indeed. But here it is. You can just tell it was mishandled, and he knew he had a hurry, and he just fires it over there to first base. And that's, you were right, great pickup from the first baseman and a great stretch.
Really good athletic and ability, and I think he's probably their best player.
Super close, too. Only got him by about a half a step.
Two more.
This is still coming in. Yeah, still getting up front.
One more pitch.
All right. Gleason at the mound once again. Had a little bit of problems here in the 2nd inning. Gave up a run, gave up a couple of walks. But his offense is really kind of letting him off as they are just inflicting damage here, especially in the first inning there with 6 runs. Once again, New Zealand sitting at 26th on the planet. Guam is at 44th, and Australia, who New Zealand will play a little bit later on here, is sitting at 14th. And there's a nice hit to right field, and that'll be Concepcion, the pitcher, with a nice single, making contact there.
Hit that well, and that's exactly what you want from Connor Gleeson, though. Throwing strikes, let them hit the ball.
Yep. Good contact. It's just such a smooth-looking swing from a left-hander. And that will be fouled off to the dugout there by Guam.
In this situation, Connor would be looking for a ground ball where the New Zealand boys can turn a double play, 2 out in the 1 shot.
Well, they gotta hope it's a one-hopper here because Julian Flores can fly around the base path, so we'll just see if Connor here can concentrate. And that will be caught in the infield by the shortstop.
Another very good pitch. Coming in on the hitter, you'll see him get jammed a little bit. Didn't get it off the barrel of the bat, and the ball just looped out to shortstop. He's, as you said earlier, his command is very, very good today, Connor.
And that'll be a hit, and a double play will be made. Beautiful stuff. I'll do it all myself, thank you very much, as New Zealand gets out of that inning in a quick fashion.
Fantastic play by Jason Matthews in New Zealand. Ball hit hard up the middle. He came across.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to roll here very quickly. Make sure to stick and stay, don't go away. We got New Zealand versus Guam right here in Atatu. Welcome back. Here's a double play right down. Look at this. Boom, 1 out, and there's 2 outs. And you know what? You couldn't place that ball much better, but he got it done. Double play for the Diamondbacks in New Zealand. And here we are once again in McLeod Park. And the Kiwis are ready to come up to bat. And their bats have been hot today, Brett.
They've done very, very well. That last play, that was an outstanding play by Jason Matthews. Yes. Excellent footwork. Yeah, New Zealand have hit the ball very, very well. We might be having a couple of changes here. Manager Dan Tan has made some changes, which I'm sure we'll get soon.
Jacob Concepcion will still be on the mound here for Guam, and he seems to have a decent control. Velocity might not be up to scratch, but you got to have the control before you got to have the velocity.
He's changed speeds well. He's gone from fast to slow, and he's got that knuckleball, which they're probably all a little bit wary of.
Number 18, Taylor Simmons up to bat here for the Diamondbacks. Takes the first ball outside.
Looks like Taylor's coming to hit for Cooper Hutchinson.
He was a designated hitter in yesterday's game. So he's got a bat on him as he takes that first strike on the outside corner.
I think something for you.
Curveball, he will chop it down to the third base line. He's got to hustle, and that will be E6. An error on the third baseman. We got a base runner here for the Diamondbacks.
Little slow roller, would have been a tough play, but good speed, and was unable to make the play, as you said.
And he just had to charge this and glove it, but was waiting about his next move before he made his first move. In any event, we got a runner on first base now here for the Diamondbacks in New Zealand. No outs, 1 ball, no strikes.
This is Ben Thompson at the plate again. Ben had a triple in his first at-bat and was hit by the pitch.
And they'll throw it down to first base once again. I do like this catcher's arm here. Nolan Chamberlain behind the plate here for Guam. Got himself a nice arm. And that'll be fouled off the right field way. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Seems most of the New Zealand hitters are trying to hit the ball to right field, or the bats are a little bit slow, but as you said, there's a lot of room out in left field.
Concepcion now pitching from the stretch. Here's the delivery. That'll be outside. They go to check the runner down first base again, but they're keeping him honest down there at first base.
2-2.
That'll be inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 83 miles an hour was that last pitch.
3-2.
And there's a backwards K, the first one of the afternoon. No thanks, I'm just looking. Strike 3, nice curveball from Concepcion.
Ben must have been looking for a fastball or something in that situation, just froze, and you just got to take it there. Hope the umpire gets the call wrong, but he didn't, because it was right down the middle.
Sam Harvey up now here for the Diamondbacks of New Zealand. Yeah, that'll be right back to the pitcher, Concepcion, looking for 2 in a row, and there's the first one and second one, and great play by Guam to get out of that inning. And it seems to me now the innings seem to be flying by a little bit quicker than they did there in that first inning, as Guam seems to be settling down. They got Concepcion on the mound now with decent control, and now the defense seems to be playing a lot better as well.
Exactly, it all starts with pitching. This guy's throwing strikes, getting the field involved. It's very tough to field when you're just waiting on guys walking them all the time.
Great stab too by Concepcion. Great way to turn 2. And that will help their cause indeed. Connor Gleason will remain on the mound here for the Diamondbacks. As once again, it's just a fantastic day here in Auckland. The sun's out, light breeze kicking up here now. Great day for baseball.
Taylor Simmons has gone out to right field to replace Cooper Hutchinson, so it was just a straight swap. Hopefully for Cooper's sake, when he dove back in the base earlier in the last inning, it didn't hurt his hand.
Yeah, well, because we're going to need his bat for the next game against Australia, right?
Exactly, one of the better hitters for New Zealand, and as we said, probably looking at a college scholarship in the next couple of months.
Jared Sarosa now up here for Guam. Looking for a rally here. And there's a little lifter up to left field, and that will be taken. 1 pitch, 1 out. Now that's the kind of pitch count you want, Brett, right?
Exactly, and as we've been saying all game, with the big lead, make sure you let the hitters hit. 3 times out of 10 they'll be successful, so there's 7 times they're going to get an out, and that's what you want. You don't want to be walking players.
Jude Santos now up for Guam.
Daddy, I paid for you.
And that will be a little bit high for Jude. Ball 1. Right down the pipe. Gleason's finding him, finding the zone here in the bottom of the 4th. And that'll go over the second baseman's head into right field, where there will be an out. And there's 2 outs. So really, Gleason here's got 5 pitches and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Perfect.
Exactly. And he'll be, if he keeps his pitch count down, he can stay longer in the game, which helps New Zealand. In tournament play, you need to keep your pitching back, because a lot of teams will run out of pitching later on when it could really be needed.
Vicente Cuenga now up for Guam. Gleason looks relaxed on the mound. Here, his delivery. Nice pitch. Seems to me Gleason just keeps the Guam batters guessing. Is it going to be a curveball? Is it going to be a fastball up high? It just seems to be 1 step ahead of the Guam hitters at the moment. That one will be high for a ball.
1 ball, 1 strike.
The best part of what he's done today is been able to throw the fastball to different sides of the plate, inside, outside, and that's what we call good command.
And down the third base line, it will remain fair ball. There's the gun from first. Beautiful play.
Ben Thompson down at third base, showing his arm and balanced all the way through it. Never looked hurried. Very nice play.
Well, 3 up, 3 down for the Diamondbacks of New Zealand, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see you shortly after the break here, as New Zealand will now be coming up to bat shortly.
Gentlemen, do you know if somebody coming to cut this off?
Okay. After the game? Oh, yeah.
Boston Digital and Major League Baseball International. Thanks, Coach.
Sweet. Okay. Now offense gets you butts and seats, but defense gets you championship trophies in cabinets, and that is good defense there from the third baseman from New Zealand, getting that play. 3 up, 3 down went the last half of the last inning for Guam.
And leading off for New Zealand, number 17, Ryan McLeod.
Ryan McLeod up now here for the Diamondbacks. Concepcion still on the mound here for Guam.
Ryan's had a ground out in his first at-bat and walked his last at-bat, so hopefully he can drive the ball a little bit better here.
Take the first one for a strike. You know, if you take out that tragic first inning there for Guam and add the rest of them together, it'd be a closer game, wouldn't it?
Yes, if they hadn't been able to, hindsight's fantastic. If we were able to start this pitcher, it is a completely different game.
Big cut from the lefty. Now falls behind the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. just missed on the outside.
You can see from that there, the catcher didn't really move his glove. So again, this guy's got very good command and is keeping the New Zealand hitters off balance.
All right, full count here, 3-2. And Concepcion has been pitching well. He doesn't want to start out this inning walking the first batter he faces. And that'll be a hit out to left field, going deep and can't handle it, and it will be extra bases. Looks like a stand-up double. And yeah, stand-up double, first hit out there to left field, and that was a good shot.
Very good hitter, Ryan, and maybe with a little bit of off-speed stuff's upsetting timing this game, but he can really drive the ball, and you see his strength from that swing there. Just beating a little bit on it, but was able to drive it deep into left field.
Great swing with 2 strikes on him as well. And, you know, the Guam outfield, they might look a little shaky to me at the moment. A couple of misplays in the first inning, and that one didn't look very confident there with that pop-up, so might want to get the balls out there in the outfield and see what the Guam outfielders can do. Galassi here. Now, we all know his dad is the coach of the Black Sox, also has won many championships with him, and there's a deep, deep shot to the hole of shortstop, and he couldn't make that throw with his momentum going one way and the ball having to go the other.
Yeah, with Galassi's speed too, he really had no chance of making the play. So first and second here with none out in New Zealand, so should be a chance to score some more runs.
And that'll be a pass ball. Runners will advance now at second and third. There goes the force play. There goes the chance of the double play.
One of those coach killers there for a manager of the Guam team. It's probably the last thing you wanted.
1 ball.
Zach Goldschmidt, the catcher, at the plate.
That one's just a bit outside. Runners now at second and third here for the Diamondbacks of New Zealand. 2-0, hitter's pitch. And he calls a balk, which is a very rare call in baseball, and the runners will advance. Brett, could you explain the balk to us?
Well, the pitcher's not allowed to deceive the runner. I didn't actually see exactly what happened. We might see a replay of it. But if you deceive the runners, or if you're on the mound and you drop the ball, what happened there? Yeah, he stepped back with the wrong foot. So he stopped and deceived the runners, which is technically an illegal movement, so the runners get 1 base.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be a fluid motion to the plate. And that it wasn't. So New Zealand scores on a balk.
Right one.
And that's a ball. Now, if you want to keep up with all the stats here throughout the day, go to pointstreak.com and hit the live links, and the stats will be popping up with you. If you can't get down here to McLeod Park today, once again, that's pointstreak, STREAK.com. Concepcion now, first and third. Siona Gray at the plate here for the Diamondbacks. Now, Brett, would you send the runner from first to second here?
Yeah, they probably will. They'll look to be aggressive because of this. They can finish the game early if they're more than 10 or 15 runs ahead, so they're probably looking to get those runs now.
1 ball, 1 strike. Play.
Keep an eye on that runner on first base here. See if he breaks for second. So they're going to hold him up as they're going to make Concepcion come over the plate first.
Trouble is with Goldschmidt at first base, the catchers aren't known for their speed, so Dan probably doesn't want to lose an out either.
That was the catcher right now. And that one's going to be lifted down and just out of play. Luckily for the Diamondbacks. Count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
2 and 2. Right.
Siona Gray looking to make contact here for the Diamondbacks. Run batted in is 90 feet away, sitting on third base. Now we get a full count, 3 and 2.
Dan may put the runner in motion here at first base just to stay away from a double play.
Yep. And that'll be fouled out of play. Watch it, folks. Stays alive. Does Gray.
Play.
Yeah, that'll be ball 4, and that's a good eye from Gray to take that walk after fouling off a couple and staying alive in the batter's box. Gets himself to first base. And the bases are loaded for the Diamondbacks.
Big chance for Jason Matthews after that outstanding double play. It always seems that after a good defensive play, you're coming up to the plate in a run-scoring position.
Still, we got no outs here as well. Top of the 5th.
Just looks to be tiring a little bit, Concepcion.
And there's a little dribbler down third base. They're going to come to the force at home, but they're going to hit him with a tag instead. They'll get him at the plate for out number 1. And that's it. Bases will remain loaded. 1 out. Good play by the third baseman of Guam. But the throw was offline, so rather than hit home plate, he actually had to tag him.
It was quick thinking by the catcher. You'll see the ball here, broken bat. You hear the bat break. Threw it, lobbed the ball rather than threw it. Had the catcher come off his line and made a very good play in the end to get back in time to tag that hit runner out.
Great play by the catcher.
Second baseman Lincoln Crooks at the plate. Lincoln had a hit in his first at bat.
Great baseball name, Lincoln Crooks. And that one will be taken low.
Yes, it is. 1-1. Ball.
And that'll be a ball. 2-1.
2-1.
Lincoln's another player. He's been over to America at least twice that I know of with baseball.
Yep.
Just opening up some travel opportunities.
And that's going to be a out. Nice running catch. Runner will tag from third, and there'll be another run scored. Run batted in for Crooks, but a great covering catch out there in right field.
Really good play by the right fielder going to his glove side down the line. The ball would be tailing towards the line, so it's going away from him as it gets there. But a very good piece of hitting by Crooks in the same motion because he was able to score a run from third base.
Glad he got that out because that would have put a world of hurt on Guam if that one snuck by him.
Taylor Simmons, the right fielder.
And that'll be fouled back. Runners on first and third, 1 out here, top of the 5th. New Zealand now 9, Guam 1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Not missing by much is Concepcion. And he waits on that, and that one has eyes of its own. It gets past the shortstop. That'll be a base hit here. Another run comes home, 10-1. Now runners on first and second here for the Diamondbacks. And they are just inflicting damage here on Guam with their bats. There it is, great swing. And you can just tell that the shortstop didn't have that kind of range. He's not Derek Jeter by any stretch. But hey, more hits here for New Zealand.
And you have the third baseman, Ben Thompson, coming up. Ben, as we said, a very good player, so a chance to drive in some more runs here for New Zealand.
Takes a big cut on that one. He was looking to hit that one at Ponsonby. And that one will be right back up the middle. And that will get through for another hit. Here comes another run home. It will score. And they'll keep the runner back at second base. But again, the Diamondbacks balls have eyes, as they just seem to find their way through the infield here, hitting the ball where the fielders are not.
Exactly, the ball bouncing all over the place. May have even clipped the base or got close to it. The second baseman had a chance, just didn't get the backhand to it. And great base running to score from second base on that.
Yes. Here's another foul ball in play, however. Will he get there? No.
Sam Harvey. Sam's actually just taken a scholarship to do medicine. Very intelligent young man.
One strike. Play.
And that one will be fouled off down by the third base coach. 2 strikes.
Third baseman coach Nick Stanley, another college player coming over here to help develop the young players.
Missing outside is Concepcion. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Do not want to lose this batter, starting it with 2 strikes. Another pickoff play here by Concepcion.
You can talk to the team.
That one is low.
The way Guam are fielding here, you have to, normally with the runner on second base, the first baseman will not hold the runner on, so they're leaving a huge gap to the right side.
Yes. Right down the pipe. And that will do it. A backwards K. I'm just looking. Strikeout for Concepcion, and he needed that in the worst kind of way, as New Zealand inflicts more damage on Guam. 11 now for the Diamondbacks, and Guam sitting on 1.
Got $1 million field. Yeah, you get steams pop out.
Now, what can we look forward to this afternoon when New Zealand plays the 14th on the planet ranked Australia?
Well, the 2 pitchers going at it, boys, from New Zealand has been in Seattle, pitching over there in high school. And I'm not sure who Australia's throwing, but they've got a couple of very good kids who'll probably sign professional contracts shortly.
Really?
Yeah, maybe if one of the left-handed pitcher Wells boys goes, he could be signing soon. Both will throw a lot harder than these younger guys do. The game will ramp up. The tempo will be a lot quicker. The defense will be a little bit better from both sides as well.
I mean, baseball really, I mean, just in the States, for example, it's such an absolute infrastructure. I mean, you start out at T-ball, you go to Little League, then you go to Babe Ruth, then you go to Pony League, then you go to high school, then you go to college. After university, then you have the opportunity potentially to go to A-League, AA, AAA, and then you're in the pros. So really, I mean, before you get all the way up to the top level, there's so many steps to go through and so many travel opportunities for these young kids to get out amongst it, and just a great opportunity all around.
Exactly right. And the hardest thing for the players from this region, both New Zealand and Australia, is the lack of games they have.
Yeah. And speaking with the coaches once again before the game, this is really the first generation of Kiwis that have grown up playing baseball. We all know about the Black Sox and their domination worldwide. A lot of these kids also play softball as well, but first generation of Kiwis playing baseball here. They're doing pretty well.
No, but they use quite a controlled iron dose. Yeah. So I'll give it 1.
Give it Zach a break, huh?
Go dark and come game day, it's that impeccable, impeccable finish,
All right, by the 7th inning now, if we're the New Zealand Diamondbacks are winning then more than 10 runs, the mercy rule will be in effect. But I'm sure Guam's not thinking about that right now. Right back to the pitcher, couldn't handle it. Gleason will go to the second baseman. He'll have to hurry, and he'll get there. Great backup play by the second baseman. Gleason couldn't get the ground balls and went by him there.
Dylan Irwin's just come in to replace Lincoln Crooks at second base, and the first pitch he's in there for makes a very good play up the middle, gets balanced, sets his feet, and makes a great throw to Ryan McLennan at first base.
Well, that's well outside.
Got a couple of changes for New Zealand. Got a new catcher in place as well. Thompson's come in to catch, plays Goldschmidt.
Daniel Penagilton now up here for Guam. He'll take one inside and low. So really, I mean, it's not over till it's over, as Yogi Berra once said, and we all know that. But Guam is looking to avoid this rule, you know, which we have inflicted on them. And they want 2 or 3 runs, so that's not going to have to happen, so they can at least play off the game.
Exactly, but the way Connor Gleason's throwing strikes and keeping them off balance with his good command and that really good curveball he's got, it's going to be difficult for them to claw some runs back, I think.
2-1. Play.
2 balls, 1 strike. Penagilton at the plate here for Guam. Take that one outside. Gleason here falling behind the count, 3-1. And ball 4. That'll be a walk. And a base runner for Guam, exactly what they wanted. McCarthy now.
Dad, I don't have to risk it on my
Gleason looking for a ground ball, chance of a double play ball here. Trying to get the batter to ground on it, and that's not going to happen. He's going to lift it up to left field, and that'll be an out.
Good swing there by the Guam hitter. Hit it very, very well, but great defense again by New Zealand.
Good contact, absolutely. But perfectly placed was the left fielder. I mean, he barely had to move for that. A couple steps back, and he was right there. There's a lot of real estate out there in the outfield, ladies and gentlemen, where just 3 fielders have to cover the whole area. And there's one lifted. It will be going foul. Concepcion, who got a hit his last time up, he's the pitcher. And really kind of settled Guam down a little bit there after that 6-run first inning by the Diamondbacks when Martinez was pitching for Guam. Concepcion kind of came in and really steadied the ship, so to speak.
Again, Connor Gleason getting ahead of the hitter when we call it a strike. First pitch is getting ahead.
Gleason still looking for that ground ball to turn the double play. And that'll be a pass ball. Runner goes, and he will be safe at second. There goes the double play ball now, right? Two down here at bottom of the 5th. Concepcion, the batter. Gleason has been doing a pretty darn good job here for the Diamondbacks. Now on the stretch, here's the delivery. And it'll be a shot to second base. Oh, it takes an odd hop. We'll have an error on the second baseman. Here comes the throw to home, and he will get the runner on the head. What a gun!
What a great play. Ball took a bad hop for the second baseman, but the right fielder has made a strong throw. Taylor Simmons made a strong throw to the catcher.
What a throw. That is fantastic stuff. Well, it is 11-1, ladies and gentlemen, and you come back here shortly. We're right here at McLeod Park. You going to be doing that last play on replay? It would be a good one to do. That was a good throw. Right field there.
camped out here last night. Yeah, oh, have you? Done it again tonight?
Well, here we are, and check it out. This is the definition of I got your back. For error there in second base, and look at this throw from the right fielder all the way down to home plate. Nails him on the head before he gets to home plate. A fantastic throw and a great call by the umpire. As you can see, he barely touched him there on the helmet.
It was a really good call by umpire. In good position, you can see the tag on the helmet, exactly as the umpire said. Great throw by the right fielder and saved the 10-run lead for New Zealand.
All right, Concepcion on the mound here for Guam as he stayed in there since the second inning. And there's one right down the plate.
Ryan McLennan hitting again after his long double to left field in his last at-bat.
The bats have been hot here today for New Zealand. Two balls, one strike. Top of the sixth. And he waited on that one. A nice little grounder down to first base, and he will get the out. One up, one down.
Really nice play by the first baseman. Really balanced and just makes plays look easy. He's actually quite a good player, the Guam first baseman.
Okay. Pinch hitter, 32 in for 11.
We got a pinch hitter here for New Zealand. Dean Stafford, number 32, will be coming to the plate. Getting some cuts in here. And he'll have a look at Concepcion and take the first one for a strike. Second pitch a bit inside, but once again, Concepcion not missing by a lot here. And that'll be a grounder, almost a bunt, if you will. Concepcion will have to throw it over there, not in time. That'll be an infield hit. Geez, that'd have been a perfect bunt.
Exactly, that's what we call a swinging bunt. You don't mean to hit it there, but dribbles out. Made a great play, Concepcion, but the speed of Stafford was just too much. Perfectly placed ball.
Yeah, he was motoring down that line. Look at him go. As soon as he hits it, he's out. And just no time for Concepcion. Diamondbacks now with a runner on the base paths. And they're going to check him down at first once again.
Normally in this situation, New Zealand would not be stealing a base because they're so far up.
And that one will be fouled out of play.
One ball, one strike.
Yeah, they're up by 10 runs here, and that's the rule. If you're up by 10 runs after the 7th, mercy rule is in effect. So they want to keep that 10-run buffer they have at the moment. As a hit out here toward left center will be caught by the center fielder, and there's 2 outs now for the Diamondbacks.
Ball was just in a little bit, jammed him, and when we talk it up near the handle, it's up near where his hands are. There's not a lot of meat in the bat. It's hard to get any depth in the ball.
Sione Gray now up here for the Diamondbacks with 2 outs. And he'll take that one for a strike on the outside corner. And the runner will go on a sort of pass ball here, and we'll get there. Second base. As the catcher kept it in front of him, Nolan Chamberlain. In any event, runner will now go to second base. Runner in scoring position here for the Diamondbacks. Just couldn't get the glove the right way. And that one will be fouled out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
1 and 2. Play.
There's a delivery from Chin. And that'll be right back at him. And that'll be out number 3. As Guam will be coming up here to try and get a couple of runs to keep this game going. It must be done, otherwise the mercy rule will be in effect here at McLeod Park. And well, if the Diamondbacks have Connor Gleason jogging to the mound, that's going to be a little fearful here for the Guam hitters. We got ourselves a new pitcher here. Number 12, Matthew Boyce, will be on the mound. As good innings from Gleason, though.
A great game from Gleason, and I'm sure both Dan Tan and Ricky Taiwai, the coaches, were very, very happy with what he did. Threw a lot of strikes, kept the hitters off balance, and has set New Zealand up for a big win.
Now, is this the pitcher that you thought New Zealand might be throwing in the second game?
No, the one this afternoon will be Jimmy Boyce.
Okay.
Maybe a brother, I'm not sure of that, but I would assume they're related in some way.
3 degrees of separation down here, my friend. Again, a good-looking pitcher, tall, lanky.
Some great frames on the New Zealand players, and as you said earlier, some great athletes coming out of the country. We're just getting them into the New Zealand baseball program now.
Well, like we said, Australia has up to 33 professional players playing, whether it's at the Major League Baseballs or professionally in Japan. And, you know, they got a 50-year start. That's a couple generations of people here growing up playing baseball in Australia before it got over here to New Zealand. And here we are. This is the first generation of Kiwis now playing baseball since they were kids. What is the outcome? Well, right now it's 11-1, New Zealand over Guam. Julian Flores here will be coming up for Guam. And they're just looking to make contact at this point. They're just looking to get base runners on the base paths. Score that 1 run is all they need to bring it down to within 9 runs. And then they can continue to try and hack away at the lead here, 8th and 9th inning. But they need 1 run in order to make it go that long. Matthew Boyce from the windup. Good velocity. I like his style.
He does, has a good, lively arm, what we say. Good delivery. He just falls a little bit on delivery, which takes a little bit of velocity away. But has a good arm.
And that'll be high for ball 2. 2-1. Just missing on the outside there is Boyce. 3-1. And this would bode well for Guam here to get a base runner on first up. And there it is.
Not really what you're looking for one of your relievers to come in and walk the first hitter, especially when you're trying to close the game out and get out of there early.
Unless, of course, he's a ground ball specialist and he's trying to get these guys to hit into a double play, but probably not thinking that's the case. In any event, we got no outs here, bottom of the 6th, and Guam needs to score to keep this game going. As that's a shot, third base, shortstop will get a hold of it, but that won't be a play. That'll be a hit. No error really occurred there.
Good work, Jake.
Now, perfectly placed ball, if you wanted to say that. No chance for the third baseman. Shortstop did a very good job cutting it off, but he had no chance of making that in.
Yeah, look at the range from the shortstop, where he comes from to get to this ball. That's great range for a kid that age.
And intelligent by not making a throw, because sitting on your backside there, you could have only thrown the ball away. So.
Yeah, that one will be fouled out of play. Well, here we are, the bottom of the sixth, Brett. No outs, runners on first and second. I hear the Rocky theme in the background.
You must be hearing things.
Well, just like Yogi Berra said, I believe it was in 1956, it is not over till it's over. So we'll see what happens here. Guam could have one of the greatest comebacks of all times. You got to play the game to find out. Boyce now pitching from the stretch. And that'll go off the catcher's helmet. Pass ball, runners advance, now second and third.
Not sure what happened there. The catcher may not have picked it up or may have been looking for a different type of pitch.
Oh, here it is. Whack, right off his melon, look at that.
From the looks of the reaction of the catcher, I'd say he was looking for a curveball and the pitcher's thrown a fastball, and what's what we call crossing up the catcher.
Yep.
Gives him no chance to catch it.
Miscommunication, I think that's exactly what they're talking about now.
Yeah.
And in our next game, New Zealand taking on Australia. We start at 3:40.
Oh, you're loaded for duck. Put them in here, buddy.
The big thing for New Zealand here is just to take an out. Even if they do score a run or 2 runs this innings, it's not really going to cause a major dent to the game situation. It may stop them from winning by in the 7th innings, but the main thing for New Zealand is to win the game.
Yeah, stay the course. Jared Sarosa now up here for Guam. And that'll be in the gap. Runners will score here. Well, 1 run anyway. That's exactly what they needed to pull it to within 9. And they're still sitting on no outs here with runners on first and third. And here it is, great hit. Right back up the gap here. Shortstop couldn't get to it. And that had some pep on it, that one.
One strike. Play.
Again, they probably won't be too worried about this run from third scoring because it's still losing with an 8-run lead, but they'll be just looking to get 1 or 2 outs here.
And there's another hit in the gap to right field. Another run will score here for Guam. 2 runs now here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Another good piece of hitting. The velocity is up a little bit from what Connor had, but he doesn't have the command of Connor. A lot of the balls are straight down the middle of the plate. And the Guam boys are swinging the bats.
First and second here for Guam. No outs. And they're going to get, ooh, and I think, ooh, they almost had him there at second base. A great pickoff move orchestrated there by the second baseman.
What we call the inside-out move. The pitcher lifts his front leg. The runner thinks he's going to the plate, but he turns around, throws to the second base, and just beat the back.
That throw was a little bit lower. We might have had a different outcome. That one's up top. 1 ball here.
1 ball.
That one's a bit outside. Oh, they're the Aussies, ranked 14th on the planet, and they're ready to go against the Diamondbacks here later on this afternoon. Make sure you stick and stay with us all day long here on Sky Sport 2. Anytime New Zealand plays Australia, Brett, doesn't matter what it is, the whole country will watch.
Exactly, and that's the big thing between the two countries.
Look at a two-time World Series winning Yankees, Graham Lloyd, standing right behind me.
Yeah, exactly. Graham's here, pitching coach for the Australian team. Had 11 years in the major leagues, and from Australia, obviously, and won 2 World Series wins with the New York Yankees.
I'm from Boston. I'm not supposed to be anywhere within 500 yards of a New York Yankee, and here he is right behind me.
Go on.
It's fantastic that a guy like Graham, as I said, with 11 years major league experience, is coming back to Australia and putting time in with our junior program, helping the kids out.
And that's how you're going to help the program, by having guys like that do exactly what he's doing.
Two and one. Wait.
Two balls, one strike here, bottom of the 6th. And that one will be fouled, dribble down the third base line.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Wait.
Here's the pitch. And it will be a ball. Boyce is having some problems here. Still no outs. Runners on first and second here. They've already gotten back 2 runs this inning. Boyce with the delivery. Just blasts it right by him. Finally gets one down the pipe. High velocity.
He looked a lot better with his delivery than he was early on, whether he's been nervous or just trying to overthrow. He's been falling off the mound to first base, which normally shows you're trying to overthrow. But that one there, he started a lot straighter towards the hitter, and the result was there. Very good pitch.
Catcher now, Nolan Chamberlain, batting here for Guam. He's the catcher for Guam, the pickoff master. You know, I haven't seen so many pickoff plays and keeping runners close to the bases as I've seen Guam here today. They're really concerned about it, aren't they?
They certainly do like to throw back behind the runners a lot. Just trying to, but where the pitcher was struggling so much, they're probably trying to get him out wherever they could.
Hey, let's go, man. Go on. Let's go,
And speaking of which, the Diamondbacks will keep the Guam runners close to the base paths on the bases.
Best situation here for New Zealand is a ground ball where they can try and turn a double play and get out of this innings and let their hitters come back and score some more runs.
And that is a shot, which will be caught by the shortstop. And there's your double play, Brett. That was fantastic baseball.
Jason Matthews has been outstanding in his defense today. It's his second double play.
All right, good people. Guam got back a couple of runs there, but now the New Zealand Bats are at the plate shortly. We'll catch you directly after the break right here from McLeod Park. Double play, yeah. Yeah. Well, I left him. You talked to him. I came. Yeah. All right, you want a double play ball? Here's a double play ball caught by the shortstop. Bang, thank you very much. A lot of double plays here, ending innings during this baseball game. Fantastic day once again here in Auckland, New Zealand. We're at Atatu. Lieutenant Dan Hennessy alongside Brett Ward, a scout for the Orioles, the Baltimore Orioles for the Oceania region. And how is the talent in the Oceania region right now for baseball?
It's really good. It's coming on, and New Zealand's really been over here for the last 4 years, every year looking at players. It's getting better every year. As you said, they're getting bigger athletes, better athletes in, and the more games they can play, then it's more enticing for us to keep coming back.
Right.
I'm on the wrong side. One more batter. Here you go. Come on, Jason.
Jason Matthews will be coming to the plate here for the Diamondbacks. Now here's the question. 7th inning here. If New Zealand scored 3 or 4 runs and they get that 10-run spread, will that end it?
They'd have to
let Guam bat.
You let Guam bat. Okay. They have to have equal number of at-bats.
Yeah. Well, that's not fair.
So for those that want to go home early, you better start cheering for some more runs now.
That's right. But why would you want to go home on a day like this? Concepcion still on the mound here for Guam as the first pitch is hit into right field, which will be an out. But again, they're making contact, are the Kiwi batters.
Dylan Irwin coming in here. He came in to replace Lincoln Crooks earlier at second base, and this is his first at-bat for the game.
First chance to look at Concepcion here, throwing in a curveball. Throwing the deuce, couldn't get it over the plate. And there's some contact which we fouled out of play.
One ball, one strike.
1-1's the count, top of the 7th inning.
Play.
1 out. New Zealand Diamondbacks at the plate. Fouled off once again.
Yeah, because you got no fences, right? 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Play.
Did miss by much there with another curveball. Irvin waits on that one. It'll be a shot down to third. There's the throw to first. Good play, but again, good contact by the New Zealand batters. Making this Guam defense make the plays.
He hit that pretty well, actually, but again, straight at the third baseman, who stayed with the ball, balanced, gets his feet set, and makes a very good throw across to the first baseman.
Two outs here now for the Kiwis.
Ball.
And that'll be outside.
Don't blame me now. What?
That one's in for a strike.
Just there.
Taylor Simmons, who came into the game halfway through, he got a base hit last at bat.
1 and 2.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. That was a bit of like a ephus pitch or something. What was that? One of his knucklers?
It looked like a knuckleball. He's thrown a couple this innings, and he's smiling up there, so I'm thinking it might have been.
And misses once again on the outside. Full count now here. Here's that knuckle slash ephus pitch. Let's have a look at it. Oh yeah, that was a knuckler. It certainly was. Catcher there trying to frame it to make it look like a better pitch than it actually was. And that ball will go out of play.
Oh yeah. 3 and 2.
Staying alive. That's all you want to do at the plate.
3 and 2. Play.
Taylor Simmons now. Looking to get a second hit of the afternoon. And he will jam it down to the third base line, and he will get a second hit of the afternoon as he rounds first, and he will have a nice single there right down the line. Ben Thompson up now for the Diamondbacks. 2 down here, and a base runner on first. Concepcion now from the stretch, delivers, and will whistle it past Thompson. And that one is fouled out of play. 2 strikes.
Two strikes. Play.
Nice stop there by the catcher. Chamberlain's been doing a lot of work there behind the plate. He's done a very good job. He's only had a couple pass balls. Granted, a couple of the pass balls had runs score on them, but he's been at it behind that plate all day long, right up against it. And that will be a squibbler down the third base line going foul.
Foul.
Another knuckleball. He's thrown a few this inning, so he must be getting more confident being able to throw it for a strike.
Well, the wind's definitely picking up, and what better not a day to throw a knuckleball than a windy day.
Play.
And there's a shot to right field. That will be a hit. First and second now for the Diamondbacks of New Zealand.
That's Ben Thompson's third hit for the day, and he's had a very, very good game.
Samuel Harvey up now here for the Diamondbacks. Runners on first and second. 2 down, a bit of a 2-out rally here for New Zealand. As that one was called a strike. And once again, they try to keep the base runners close. And that one was a little bit low for a ball here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jacob Concepcion now in the stretch. Here's the delivery. That one's going to be outside.
Harvey will be looking for a ball up, and they've thrown him around the knees a lot, so his power zone's around the belt area.
There's a curveball which will be hit down the third base line. Here comes the runner. Here comes the throw of the plate. It's going to be close, but the Kiwis will get there in the end. Harvey's got himself a stand-up double. Another shot down the left field line.
Waited for the ball to be elevated and pulled the ball hard down the third base line. Good base running by all involved. Now you've got runners on second and third. Another base hit here takes them back to their 10-run lead.
Yeah, he definitely waited on that one, didn't he? Great control, great body control with that. And they're back once again, watching the base runners, making sure they don't get too much of a lead out there. Ryan McLennan up now here for the Diamondbacks. Good-looking lefty. And he will get that one down the first base line, but it will go foul.
Ryan's been a little early in his swing all day today and rolled over in a lot to the first baseman. He just needs to wait back and be a little bit more patient. If you can drive the ball up the middle here, they'll score 2 more runs and give them that 10-run buffer again.
1 strike. Play.
Here's the pitch. Concepcion is outside. 1-1. That thing is smashed to left field, and no one's going to get there. And that is going to be the 10-run buffer you were talking about, Brett. It's going to be reinstalled. And that's another stand-up double for the Diamondbacks in New Zealand.
Good adjustment by Ryan at the plate. When he tries to pull things, he rolls over and opens his front side, but he stayed back then and was able to drive the ball to left field again for his second double out that way.
Pinch hitter.
Well, here it is.
32.
Opposite field hit, and I'm sure the left fielder was not expecting to be running backwards on that pitch, but nonetheless, there he goes.
Ball.
First pitch a bit outside here.
Sam Hayes coming in to pinch hit. His first at-bat this game.
Two balls, hitter's pitch on the way.
Two balls.
Yeah.
Sam Hayes takes a big cut on that one. It will be fouled back.
That's ball.
And if you're going to take a Goliath swing at the plate, the best time to do it is when it's 2 balls and no strike. Hitter's pitch. 2-1 at the moment. And that one will drop right behind the pitcher, and they will get him at first base. That play seemed to take forever, but they got him nonetheless. More damage is inflicted now. The 10-run lead is reinstilled here for the Diamondbacks.
Where we at? Was that 7? Bottom 7.
Hey now, Matty!
Okay, that's good. I've been signaling a warrant for I don't know how long, Wayne.
I think Guam may have to score 2 runs here.
Okay.
Anything less than that, and the game will be finished with New Zealand winning by that 10-run rule.
Right, right. Well, now Australia's ranked 14th here in the world. What are some of the teams that might be ranked above Australia, if you know, that we would be kind of scratching our heads at, going, geez, we didn't realize that they had that sort of talent of baseball?
Oh, there's probably a couple of European teams, but the ranking system at the moment with the IBAF needs a major adjustment to it, because it's not like if everyone plays 50 games or something. Some teams might play 80 games. Australia might have only played 30 games, but they all get points for those things. So it needs a major adjustment.
So it's some sort of like mathematical calculation with the amount of games that you played and the amount of wins you had, and it just kind of pops you up at the end. You're 14th, you're 10th, or whatever it might be.
You'd hope that, but at the moment it's just an accumulation of points. So for those teams that play the most games, they've got more chance of earning points. But I think that's being changed after this year. At the end of this season, they've got what's called November this year, they've got what they call a Premier 12, with the top 12 teams in the world, which is Cuba, Japan, USA, Canada, Netherlands, things like that. A lot of Latin countries. They all play together for millions of dollars.
Wow. First pitch is in tight for a ball.
So with the amount of money on offer from this tournament they're just beginning, they're really going to tighten up the accumulation of points process. For example, someone like Italy, because you can, if you have a grandparent play for the country, you can play for Italy. So a lot of Americans that have had grandparents, they go over there and play, but if they're not in the team, they are not a very good club.
Daniel Pangutin up to bat here for Guam. 2 balls, 1 strike. And he'll take a high hack at the high heater. 2-2. And no thanks, I'm just looking. Backwards K, strikeout for the Diamondbacks.
2 more outs here for New Zealand, and as we said, this game will finish after this innings if there's still a 10 or more run lead to New Zealand.
Kenji McCarthy up now for Guam. Boyce at the line, looking rather poised. Now pitching from the windup as there are no base runners out there. And 2 balls, hitter's pitch coming up next.
Three balls. High inside.
There's a strike, 3-1 now. Boyce gets one back.
3-1.
And there's a hit towards second base. It'll drop in the gap. Shortstop barehands it, throws it mate, and does not get it there in time. But a nice little barehanded play there by the shortstop, realizing he didn't have the time to pop it from his glove to his hand.
Matthews had a great game at shortstop today, showing a lot of athleticism. As you said, there was nothing else he could do better on that ball. He made every adjustment to it, runs to it well, bare hand, one step, and throw off balance, but the runner was just a little too quick.
Base runner here for Guam on first with 1 out. Concepcion now is the batter for Guam, and he gets contact every time. It's up to center field. That will be an out, however. But Concepcion, he's made contact every time he's been up today. He's a great little pitcher. He's a great little talent here for Guam.
They've actually called a balk on the pitcher, so that will be a dead ball. The runner from first will move to second, and as if that never actually happened, so Concepcion will be back at the plate.
I bet you he's happy about that.
It's a good thing to know on a balk, because if you do call a balk and the pitcher throws it, swing the bat.
It's a free pitch, right?
It's a free hit. If you get a hit, you can choose to take the hit.
Yep.
But if you get the out, you can choose to have an out bat again.
Come get it.
Concepcion back into the batter's box because of that balk. Second chance here, the brass ring. Boyce with the delivery. Concepcion makes contact once again. It'll be over the outstretched arms of the shortstop. Now we're looking at first and third. And Concepcion makes Boyce pay for that balk.
Another good swing. As you said, he loves taking his swings. He's got a very nice swing, Concepcion, and he's hit the ball very well all day. 1 out here.
Boyce now in the stretch. First and third for Guam. Runner goes. It'll be fouled back. A hit and run was called there by Guam, but it was fouled back, unfortunately, for Guam. Concepcion will be jogging back to first.
Normally you wouldn't be running in this situation, because you wouldn't be trying to give them an out, but Guam are trying to stay away from the early finish. So if they can score 2 this innings, they keep going.
We got stand back this one for grass on. Oh, might have been.
Here's a delivery from Boyce. Runner goes once again. The ball's high. Throws down to second. Not in time. The shortstop will back up the second baseman, and they'll get another run from the error. Will Guam. A great little piece of base running there for Guam. 14-4. Now it's the 10 runs. If they get 1 more run, we're going 2 more innings.
holding on.
I think if they had their time again, New Zealand wouldn't have made that throw.
No, I don't know why they did in the first place.
And would have just let the runner stay at second and third.
Yep. They got 2 outs. He's going to get this 3rd out. Game over. Maybe a glimmer of light here. The door cracked open potentially for Guam. And there's a hit center field straight away, and there it is. Out number 2. And, wow, they're making contact for Guam, but it's looking pretty formidable at the moment here.
Yeah, the base runner didn't tag then, and that could cost them an early finish. If he had tagged up, he would have had to challenge Harvey's arm, but he has a very strong arm out there, so it might have been a close play at the plate.
Right.
He's walking there.
Delivery from Boyce here, looking for the 3rd out. That will be popped up high to the shortstop. He's going to call for it, and that will be the 3rd out. 14-4, the 10-run mercy rule.
Any chance to run across it, eh?
I do believe is in effect here.
Just waiting on the umpire, and he'll come over and check the score now, and if he confirms it is 14-4, he will call time and game.
In any event, it was a great warm-up game for New Zealand because they got the 14th ranked on the planet Aussies coming up a little bit this afternoon.
Thanks, Sean. Thank you. Yeah.
Very well played game by New Zealand. Great pitching, good defense always wins more games than it loses. The offense started to come around, but Gleason I thought was fantastic on the mound, set the tone early, and Matthews at shortstop played an exceptional defensive game.
Agreed. In any event, Guam's got some great experience coming over here to New Zealand for travel and for just life experience, never mind just the baseball. It's an education all around.
Exactly, and it just expands. It's a global sport, as you know. Chance for them to travel, make some friends. You never know where it could lead for those guys. The first baseman, for example, you got 5 or 6 scouts here, and he shows some athleticism. So you don't know whether that could open a college path to him or something in the US of A.
And once again, in the US of A, you don't have to play for Pepperdine, USC, UCLA, UCal Berkeley. You can play Division II, you can play Division III, and still get a scholarship for school over there. So it's an avenue for a lot of athletes here to not only take out their big OE, but to take out their education within one fell swoop. And potentially, Mom and Dad, that education could be paid for.
From 8:30 till 10:50 a.m. tomorrow.
But again, the bats were alive here for the Kiwis. And it seems to me that Guam was starting to make a little bit of contact there. The Concepcion, the guy that was pitching there for not too long. We're going to throw down here quickly to my boy Dennis Casanos. He's down there with Jason Matthews. Dennis!
Yeah, thank you very much, Dan. Yes, I'm with Jason. Jason, first things first, congratulations. Look, yesterday just 1 run in it against Guam. Today, 14-4. What adjustments did you guys make to be able to put that many runs on them?
Well, we just had a little training this morning at the batting cage so we can get our eye on it and have a good game today. Yeah.
Yesterday it was tough against Australia. What do you need to do to get out there and hopefully cause a big upset for us?
I'll just perform properly, everyone batting, fielding, and just back each other up.
Now we've got Jim Boyce pitching, so what in terms of his offerings against Australia, what can we expect from him on the hill?
Oh, a lot of things there. He's pretty good. Like he's a big influence to us, so yeah.
And I've got to ask you, because it's really hot, sticky, backing up, how important was it to finish this game in 7 innings, knowing that you've got Australia, at 3:30?
Well, it's really hard because all the boys are tired and just, tough job to them, Good job to them.
Congratulations. We'll see you around about 3:30 for the next one, mate. Best of luck.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right, good people. Once again, this has been and will continue to be the 2015 International Baseball Under-18 Oceania Championships, the World Qualifying Tournament. We just saw New Zealand take out Guam 14-4. The mercy rule was in effect. And coming up at 3:30 here this afternoon, the 14th ranked Aussies will be taking on the New Zealand Diamondbacks. Stick and stay, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great day of baseball.
NZ.